Hello again, viewers. Long time no see, as we say in Scotland. It's the time for the roundup of Portugal Algarve 2022. How much did the trip cost? In case you've missed some of my previous videos where I outline the hotel costs and the flights, I'll round it all up for you. I'll give you my thoughts on each hotel and each resort if you're thinking of going to Portugal, where I would recommend, where I probably don't recommend. You can let me know at the end if you agree. €50, remember, if you're going to Tenerife, go to Bad Bob's. First prize in the quiz is €50. This isn't the same one, honestly. That gets spent that night, but go to Bad Bob's. Before I start, just a wee special shout out to a couple of people. I need to get my pound glasses on, viewers. Hold on. There we go, that's better, I can see now. So, a wee happy birthday, Aidan from Derry. I believe you watch all the videos. Thanks for all the support, I really appreciate it. Hope you're having a great day, Aidan, with your family as well. And a wee special thanks as well to Angela Anderson, Julia Brown and John Fagan. You've recently just bought a wee coffee. I'll leave a link at the end of the video if you want to buy a coffee. I'll give you a wee shout out. But the most important thing is if you're watching the videos, especially to the end, it's absolutely free. Thank you so much for all the support and watching the Portugal videos. If you're new to the channel, let me know. Is it the first time you've started watching the channel and you've started watching the Portugal videos and now you've moved on to Tenerife and some other places? Quite a lot of people have sent me messages saying they've now booked holidays in Albufeira and Tenerife and Benidorm as well. So that's great. I hope I'm trying to show you every place in a different light. Sometimes they're good, sometimes not so good, but I'm only in places for 1 or 2 days, so sometimes I can't do them justice, but I try my very best just to show you everything in the resort. So just a wee thanks, guys, I really appreciate it, and thanks to Angela as well. You also bought the wee book that I wrote, the wee trip report behind the scenes. Thanks very much, Angela, I really appreciate it. So without further ado, let's start, viewers. The flights, as you know, were with Ryanair from Prestwick, or as Ryanair call it, Glasgow Prestwick. Now, the reason I went from Prestwick, it was definitely not to pay £7 for a pint of San Miguel, which I ended up doing. That was a mistake. The reason I went from Prestwick is because it's a very small regional airport. On the afternoon, you'll be lucky if there's 3 or 4 flights going. In the morning, there's not much more. So there's not too much chance of big massive queues outside the airport like there is in some other UK airports. So that's something to consider maybe. If you've got a small regional airport next to you don't normally use, you might find that a wee bit quieter than some of the big airports like Manchester and the London ones, etc. So let me know if you've been to any of the smaller airports recently, if you find it a wee bit better. So with Ryanair, the flights weren't that cheap, £90 going out and £24.99 on the way back. So return trip really was £115 effectively. No bags were booked in. I decided to travel light in this one. I had a very small rucksack. I tried to squeeze everything in. I thought I'd done a great job. And then when I got to the Algarve, I'd realised I'd forgot to pack every pair of socks. So I had no socks whatsoever. I had to go into the Chinese shop in Albufeira Old Town and buy socks in there. They sell everything in the world and it's really cheap. Everything's very cheap. Apart from reading glasses. Reading glasses were €5 in there. And I was going to buy another spare pair because I forgot to tell you, I left a pair in the bus to Albufeira one day. So I still had another spare pair, fortunately. But the flights were £115. The first night, we were supposed to go to Albufeira, missed the bus, had to stay in Faro. So I stayed in Faro for £38 with booking.com. Let me just check the name of the hotel. An inverted commas hotel. It was the Hotel Afonso 3. I would avoid that hotel. There's very few places I don't recommend. I don't recommend this hotel. Very dated inside. Not the best location either. If you've seen the walk I done on another channel, you'd have seen exactly where it's located. It's like 5 minutes really from the kind of marina, the port, but not the nicest area visually. Walking down and going back at night, so I would avoid that hotel. I just booked it because it was last minute and it was the cheapest one there. but it was fine. Faro, my thoughts on it. Would I stay in Faro again? No, probably not. I had some nice wee streets. I've done a few videos, check them out. Probably the best bar I was in the Algarve was in Faro, the Piper's Bar. They had a couple of really good bands on, and I'll leave a link at the end up here if I remember, to one of the bands that were on in the Piper's Bar. They were really, really good. They were on till 3 in the morning, and that's the only reason I go back to Faro. If I was maybe at an early morning flight, going out from the airport the next day, and it was easier just to stay overnight in Faro the night before, I would maybe go back there. A couple of wee streets with nice tapas restaurants. Not much else going on. If you're considering going to Portugal for the first time or a city break, then I wouldn't stay in Faro. I would head to Albufeira, to be honest with you, or some of the other places. That's just my opinion. I know I didn't see it all. I was only there for a few hours, but my first impressions were it was okay for one night, but I wouldn't stay any longer. But they do have a good bar, Piper's Bar, check it out. So that was Faro. Then we moved on to Albufeira. Stayed in the Old Town at the Hotel Villa Asife. So I stayed 2 nights there, and then I went back and stayed there another night as well. I got mixed feelings about this hotel. Location is very good. Right in the centre of the Old Town. It's up near the top, near the church. So if you're going to be staying there, it's a great location. You have to be aware, but it's close to bars that are open to 4 in the morning. So there's no soundproofing in the hotel. It's a very, very old building. A couple of viewers did mention the rooftop area as well, so thanks for pointing it out. If you're watching, guys, I really appreciate it. Thanks. I think they're from Stockport, maybe. Let me know in the comments, guys. But thanks very much. So the hotel itself, I paid £29 with agoda.com for one night. The other 2 nights, I paid £33 and £34 with hotels.com. With hotels.com, every night that I stay, you collect a stamp. So I'm almost at 10 nights now, and I'll get a free night somewhere. So if hotels.com is the same price as all the other websites, I recommend book with them because you can collect free nights if you stay in a lot of places. Remember the same tip really for getting the best price for this hotel. You basically type in the hotel name, Hotel Villa Asife, Albufeira. It'll come up in Google, it'll list all the accommodations doing the hotel, and then go to TripAdvisor and check as well, and just basically pick the cheapest hotel. That's the way it works. Now I did check this hotel next month because my daughter's thinking of going to Albufeira, and this same hotel is over £100 a night, which is, I just would not pay that for that hotel. It's a 2-star hotel, nice enough, rooms are basic, but it's not worth over £100 a night. But the accommodation in Albufeira is quite expensive, especially in peak time, July, August, September. So would I stay there again? For £29, I'd stay there again. I'll get earplugs next time, make sure I've got them. But I couldn't complain. I absolutely loved Albufeira, the Old Town. One of the best places I've been to. It's one of the few places that I could go to that I could say nobody could not enjoy here. Some really nice restaurants, lovely beach, great live music, and the weather was brilliant. So if you're thinking of going to the Algarve for the first time, out of all the resorts that I went to, by a distance, Albufeira was my favourite resort. I would go back to the other ones and maybe spend a day, but going back on holiday, the only one I go to is Albufeira. Let me know if you agree, maybe you don't, let me know in the comments. But that hotel was not bad value for money, wasn't too bad. I also stayed one night in Praia de Rocha. Supposed to be staying at the Squash Club Apartments with Booking.com. It worked out, I think, £38 or £39 with Booking.com. Then, if you've seen the video of the room, when I got there, they then changed me to apartments across the road. I think it was the Columbus or Columbia apartments. The building inside was very, very dated, very dark. The apartment inside actually wasn't too bad. There was a wee problem with the shutters, but I did fix that. Would I stay there again? No, I wouldn't recommend it at all. I'm not a fan when you turn up at one place and they switch you to an accommodation across the building, across the road. It wasn't even the same complex. Sometimes they will move you to a sister hotel, part of the same complex, but this was not. When I moved into the other residential building, the girl at reception would not even give me a Wi-Fi code because I wasn't officially booked with them. So be careful. If you're staying in Praia de Rocha, I would stay in one of the hotels right on the main strip. So you've got the Residencia Sol, you've got the Bella Vista, lovely hotel, €500 a night. You've got the Algarve Casino Hotel, Hotel de Rocha, the Jupiter Hotel. Quite a lot of nice hotels right on the strip in Praia de Rocha. Lewis, if you're watching from Portimao, pleasure meeting you. So Praia de Rocha, the strip I actually quite liked. Quite a lot of bars, quite a mix, hotels and bars, even a nightclub as well, police station. So got an interesting mix of places. I could easily stay a weekend there, no problem. The beach was amazing, one of the best beaches I've ever seen. But the beach in Albufeira was great. So my own opinion is I would not drive by 1 hour past Albufeira and go to Praia de Rocha. That's just me personally speaking, I wouldn't do it. If you're looking for a more relaxing holiday and you're just happy staying on the one street on the strip and heading down to the beach, Praia de Rocha might be absolutely perfect for you. But personally, I much prefer Albufeira. The old town for me was the favourite part of Albufeira. The new town with the strip is a bit different. I actually thought it was okay, but I went early at night, so I didn't go late at night. So to be fair, I can't judge it. Late at night, it's going to be a different vibe, a different atmosphere. So just bear that in mind. I would probably pick the old town if I was going to stay in Albufeira again, but always depends on the deals. I did go to Portimao as well. You see me doing a few videos there. That's more a traditional Portuguese town. I actually thought it was quite nice in certain parts, but I wouldn't stay there for a long-term holiday. Even when I met Lewis from Portimao, when I was explaining what I was doing in videos, and he said to me to go down to Praia de Rocha because there've been more videos, more things going on there, and I would agree with that. It's good for a wee day trip if you're in that area, and also if you're staying in Praia de Rocha, you've got Alvor just down the road, which I didn't make. I'm sorry viewers, I did want to make Alvor, I just ran out of time. Maybe next time, we'll wait and see. So the hotels in total came to £173. That's not including the £15 that I lost in the first night. I booked in a hostel in Albufeira and I missed the bus, so I lost that money. That was just one of those things. It was so cheap that wasn't a big deal. Just unfortunate. Bad planning on my part. So the hotels were £173, flights were £115. So that brings the total for the 5-day trip to the Algarve of £288, which for the Algarve I think is not too bad. And I've noticed a big difference in price. If you're going in July and August, the prices have definitely been way up. So I think if you're considering Portugal for next year, May, late May, mid-May, and even start of June, mid-June, I think it's going to be very good value for money because the weather was amazing. I mean, it was over 30 degrees every day. So value for money. I think if I go back again next year, and I think I will go back again to Albufeira, I'll go back in May or June because more value for money and the weather's still brilliant, hopefully. So really enjoyed my trip to the Algarve. Albufeira Old Town, one of the best places I've been to, and funny enough, many years ago, my mum used to go to Albufeira every year with her friends, and I kept saying, why do you keep going back to the same place? Do you not want to try somewhere different? And then when I went to Albufeira, I could completely understand why she went back year after year. It's just had a good atmosphere, a good vibe. Pretty affordable. It's not as cheap as Tenerife or Benidorm. Definitely not. But it's not high range prices. It's not Marbella, Porto Brunus prices. So kind of bit in the middle. Great place. Really enjoyed it. So thanks a lot for watching the videos. That's a wee breakdown of what it cost. Next trip's coming up hopefully soon. Keep an eye out in the videos. I'll let you know. Nothing's booked yet. Prices are high because it's Scottish school holidays starting from next weekend. So flight prices have been up quite a lot in Scotland. But there's always a deal somewhere, viewers. Always somewhere. So keep an eye on the channel. I'll be back in Tenerife pretty soon, but not in the next trip. Maybe the one after that, we'll see. Because I've ran out of videos in Tenerife. Only got 3 or 4 left. A few Benidorm videos left and a few Algarve. So in the next week, you'll see a wee mix from different places. Thanks for all your support. If you don't mind, if you're new to the channel, hit the wee red button that says subscribe. It's absolutely free. Over 24,000 people now have hit that wee red button. Appreciate all your support. It means a lot to me. And give it a wee thumbs up. I'll leave a link to a video up here and down here if I remember, viewers, if I remember. And love the Albufeira. What a great place. See you in the next one.